And good Saturday morning to you. I'm Nikki Gaskins.
You can take a look right over here and just see the view. You can see the waves just coming up.
It bit my hand and it bit my head and I wanted to choke it, but we were rolling on camera, so.
So far, there's been 20 fatal accidents in the Savannah area this year.
Chris, I need you to tell me, when is the rain going to end, because it's doing a number on my hair. I can't take it any longer. We obtained a copy of the arrest warrant that explains exactly why Hines was taken to jail in the first place. These people are like literally risking their lives out there, but more power to them.
Witnesses say they heard about 4 or 5 gunshots near the intersection of Deerfield and Golf Club Drive.
Hopefully, with your help at home, we can get the bad guys off the street. Definitely was excited by the penguin video. Makes me want to get one myself and dress it up.
Deputies located Green's body in a wooded area at Paintney Island boat landing on Hilton Head Island.
We have new details involving a shooting that happened outside a downtown nightclub last weekend.
While we're learning more about the man charged with the toddler's death, one neighbor is remembering the victim with this memorial.
They had a goal in mind. They were out to kill this person. Nothing was taken from the house. Police need your help locating 2 men who walked into a hospital in broad daylight, stealing cash and credit cards.
A bolt of lightning destroyed this piece of track and severely injured a football player in the process.
Any idea from just your professional standpoint how long it might take to clean this oil spill up? Casey, the big question on their minds is simply why? Why would anyone want to kill their loved ones? So far, they've gotten no answers.
Right now, we're just hoping and praying that they find whoever did this.
Christopher West's younger brother, 30-year-old Joseph West, or Little Joe as his family knew him, was one of 8 people brutally murdered Saturday.
What did they have that someone wanted so bad to take their lives?
Since December 2008, his brother had been living with the Toller family at New Hope Plantation.
That family is a hard-working family, just like we are.
That welcomed his brother with open arms. In fact, Russell Toller Sr.'s daughter, Chrissy, had been dating Joseph for over a year.
They always happy, laughing, joking around.
And says his brother deeply loved Chrissy's 3-year-old son, Byron Jimerson Jr., who remains in critical condition at a Savannah hospital.
Little Joe ain't have no kids. He loved little Byron just like he is.
They were just very loving, happy people.
Jennifer Cross, who spoke to us by phone, lost her aunt, uncle, and cousins in the slayings.
My Uncle Rusty did nothing but work hard to try to support all the kids and support his family.
In fact, West says often the Toller family worked for his family's shrimping business.
Rusty Toller Sr., he did the welding on the shrimp boat. Guy Jr. and Rusty Jr. did the wiring on the boat.
A total of 10 people lived inside the trailer. Russell Toller Sr., along with his 4 children, were among the dead. Cross spoke to us about 2 of them.
Michelle had a huge heart and she did nothing but look out for Michael.
Until someone is arrested for the crimes, both families say answers won't happen anytime soon.
I don't want my family to die without justice.
The law's gonna catch you.
Now, funeral arrangements for all 8 victims are planned. 7 members of the Toller family will be buried at 3 p.m. at Youngs Island Cemetery in McIntosh County this Saturday. Joseph West will be buried on September 12th. Of course, we'll continue to follow this story as new developments come about. Casey? Casey, Spencer isn't just a sex offender. He's also considered a sexual predator after a mother we spoke to searched the web for sexual offenders in her area and found this photo of the guy. She contacted law enforcement immediately.
I was shocked. I was sickened.
That's how Frances Meddy describes her reaction to finding Edward Spencer's picture on the Georgia Sex Offenders website.
I felt like that I was on a daily basis just feeding sheep to the wolves, just putting my children in danger.
Maddie's 3 children started attending the SCLC Summer Slam Camp on July 6. She had numerous encounters with Edwards.
He was very nice, very pleasant.
And just a day before his arrest, Spencer appeared live on WJCL's morning show to talk about the SCLC.
Pretty glad they assign you something because there's plenty of work to be done.
We still don't know how long Spencer worked for the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, and organization members are saying very little.
At this point and at this time, we're not able to make any more comments or statements on that.
Which is not what parents like Maddie want to hear.
You would think that any organization that deals with children, that they would make sure that their safety is priority one.
I don't think Mr. Spencer's going anywhere anytime soon.
According to Lieutenant Tommy Tillman with the Chatham County Sheriff's Office, his department is waiting for a grand jury to indict Spencer. When that happens,
He will be charged with violation of sex offender registry laws.
Spencer's criminal record dates back to when he was just 13 years old. In 1998, he was charged with child molestation. In March 2007, he was charged with child sexual exploitation.
A sex offender can come in contact with children is because background checks aren't done.
And Maddie wants to know if that's exactly what happened.
They need to let us know how this happened, why it happened, what they're going to do to rectify it.
Now, Meddy's children, of course, are no longer attending the camp. Spencer was slated to be on probation through 2012. Tillman is now saying that is likely to be revoked. Our team coverage on this story now continues with Ashley Olmstead. You're looking at what's left of a 2005 Ford Taurus. 4 people were traveling in right before it collided with a train and killing them all instantly.
She was one of my babies.
William Rogers was Taylor Arnsdorf's 6th grade social studies teacher at Hardyville Junior High School.
She was always willing to help others. This is the one thing I really liked about her.
Inside the school, students set up this memorial in honor of their friend whose life ended abruptly after Monday night's deadly crash off U.S. Highway 17 and 321.
The engineer saw the vehicle on the tracks and attempted to brake in advance.
Hardyville Police Chief Richard Nagy says Nancy Ratliff was driving the car when she attempted to drive around the crossarms but failed. The passenger Amtrak was traveling 79 miles per hour when the two made impact.
The vehicle had been pushed almost a mile down the tracks away from the intersection.
Hardyville Fire Chief Daniel Morgan and his crew used the jaws of life to remove the passengers from the demolished car.
It was an uncomfortable scene for my firefighters.
The car was attached to the train and up under the locomotives. People have to realize is you cannot run a train.
As the families of the victims grieve, for those who knew 12-year-old Taylor, the reality of her no longer around has yet to set in.
It's really going to be hard. It's going to be a couple of days at least.
According to Hardyville Police Chief Richard Nagy, before the fatal crash, the train was actually on its way to Savannah. In Hardyville, Nikki Gaskins, WJCL Fox 28, thecoastalsource.com.
The Coastal Source presents Fox 28 News at 10 in high definition.
Tea Party members rally on Hilton Head to protest, they say, big government. Good evening, I'm Nikki Gaskins. Members say they're fed up with high taxes and now want some lawmakers currently in office out. Fox 28's Deidre Johnson has the story from the Lowcountry. Now, the party also plans to rally with other members from around the country on August 28th in Washington, D.C. Hundreds of soldiers were honored during a very special ceremony at the Georgia Air National Guard in Savannah today. During the event, organizers paid tribute to the more than 400 men and women fighting the war on terror during a ceremony called Hometown Heroes. Troops with the 165th Airborne were given a plaque for their hard work overseas. 2 families have a new place to call home tonight. Savannah's Habitat for Humanity dedicated 2 homes to Tracy Daly and LaQuisha Jones today. The homes are located on Temple Street here in Savannah. Over 300 volunteers helped to build the homes for the families. Alrighty, thanks, Chris. This year's annual Tybee Tour of Homes proved to be quite a success. Hundreds turned up to check out some of the nicest homes the island has to offer. And best of all, the event raised thousands of dollars for a very worthy cause. Last year, the fundraiser brought in around $20,000 for Hope House. Organizers hope to generate that amount again this year. It was a bit of a drinking party of sorts for many who attended Savannah's Jazz and Wine Festival today. The event took place at the Westin Hotel downtown. Guests got to taste wine made from all over the world, lucky them. The event was hosted by the Savannah Harbor Foundation and Coastal Jazz Association. Coming up on Fox 28 News at 10, the loved ones of a man gunned down in Savannah desperately trying to solve the case. You'll hear from them after the break. Plus, students at Butler Elementary will soon have a new school. The details coming up on thecoastalsource.com. And welcome back. A family travels to Savannah in hopes of generating new interest in the murder of their loved one. This is 27-year-old Scott Corwin. Corwin was a captain in the U.S. Army living in Savannah awaiting deployment to Iraq. 6 years after his murder on Monterey Square, still no arrest in the case. Tonight, his family speaks out. Now, there is currently a $15,000 reward for tips that lead to an arrest. If you have any information on the case, contact Crime Stoppers. The number is 234-2020. Students at Butler Elementary will soon have a new school. The Savannah Chatham School System held a groundbreaking ceremony for the new school on Friday. Once completed, the two-story building will house about 650 students. The school will have 41 classrooms, including art, computer, and music. There's a new place for the community to hit the books. The West Broad Street Library held its grand opening. It's located in the West Broad YMCA. City officials, including Mayor Johnson, were in attendance for the ribbon cutting. The new library features many books, videos, and 17 new computers. Now, Alan is here with me, so that can only mean one thing. You have some good sports highlights coming up shortly. So. The Republican candidate for governor of South Carolina has been accused of marital infidelity, but she continues to say she's been faithful. Nikki Haley took to the airways to dispute claims from a state house lobbyist and consulted for one of her GOP rivals, Lieutenant Governor Andre Bauer. The lobbyist, Larry Marchant, claims he had a one-night stand with Haley during a convention 2 years ago in Salt Lake City. He says he's going public now because he's annoyed. Haley said she's been faithful to her husband after a political blogger claimed to have also had an inappropriate relationship with her. Well, looking to save on the hotel for the next trip you take? Well, booking blind may be the answer. Fox's Brenda Butner has more in this week's shopping market. And welcome back. We are joined for a final time with meteorologist Chris Justice. And as you were saying earlier, we're definitely going to probably need those umbrellas in the next few days.
And some water, especially.
I like the fall or either the spring because it's not too hot and it's not too cold.
A little more bearable to be outside.
Yeah, so definitely for me because I hate the humidity. Well, that's all on the news we have time for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. And remember, for all your latest news, just join us on thecoastalsource.com.